Welcome to another exciting episode of Mastered Craft. I'm your host David Kamau. Today I'm joined by a very beautiful lady. She loves musicals. She has been into theater. Of all honors, she's an AD, an assistant director in so many films. I don't want to say much. Agnes Kola.
Zinafanyaga mtu anasikia baridi.
Apana, how are you? Thank you for coming over to the show.
Thank you so much.
For me, I know you, but my viewers don't know you. So please tell them who are you.
Oh, okay. My name is Agnes Kola. I am a first AD. Sometimes I double up as a second AD. I love theater so much. I love scripting. I love film. I love telling stories. And yeah, this year I got the award of the best female first director at the Women in Film Awards.
Wow! Agnes, where did all this start from?
I think it's from kindergarten. My parents allowed me to be in the Kenya Music Festival, the Kenya National Drama Festival.
Right.
And so all through it was theater, drama. And so when I finished Form 4, I can still remember I wanted to go to Maseno University because to go and do performing arts. But my dad and my other family members were like,
"You're so good in theater."
Not really. There's no money in Kenya for theater, which is very true, by the way. And they were like, "What if you do film?" Because ideally, the major difference is only that now camera is here. Because when you try to do the difference between theater and film, camera is here, what and sort. And so that's how I ended up doing films.
And theater, let's go wide back. Let's talk about theater only.
Okay.
You love musicals.
I do love musicals so much. Actually, again, this year, last year we did Subira, a new musical.
I get it.
And the Silent Voices Uganda came to Kenya, and I was part of the musical.
Nice.
Which again gave me another nominations this year as the best female supporting actress at the Kenya Theatre Awards.
Wow. How is the theater experience?
It's so beautiful. Nisipigwe mawe kwa kusema hii by the way, but I feel TV inafanya mtu anakaa hivi.
So many people from theater say that each and every time.
Yeah, but with theater we really express ourselves,
Exactly.
It's freedom that we have, and you cannot really compare with screen. And then I feel with theater, you have time to do a background research of your character.
Exactly.
But with film, si nimekugawia mascenes. So leo David utakuja, kesho unafanya scenes 2-3. So there's the breakage of
tupiga hiki tuishe.
Ishe.
We have to get this done. Bilal said the same thing.
Yeah.
Bilal alisema theater inampea time ya kuprepare.
Sana.
So theater is in him. But TV commercials ni tupige hiki tu.
Ishe twende. Alafu the another thing is one off. For screen you can say take 1, take 2, take 3. For theater, you don't have time for mistake.
Exactly.
You go as you go,
Yeah.
You go
That's
as
where
you go.
you developed your actress skill.
Yeah.
You are an amazing actor.
Thank
People
you.
don't know that.
But I think I still struggle to act on camera.
Why?
Because
but it's so good.
Because I feel, oh my God, I think my people are calling me to explode. For theater we explode. But yeah. It's okay.
Have you written praise or theater arts?
Yeah, I did. I was at the Kenya Institute of Mass Communication.
So many people have been there.
And I was in the mighty powerhouse.
You must have been privileged to get your position.
I was.
Up there.
And I was also at the powerhouse, and where I was the vice chair ever since I got into the Kenya Mass.
Wow.
Yeah, and also
seems I don't know you were.
Ojuri story. And actually from 24 now when I got into 2015, I got into Kenya Mass in 2014.
2014.
Yes. And now 2015, 2016, 2017, I was so active in the Kenya National Drama Festival, of which in those all 3 years, I was the best actress nationwide, best female artist, best overall artist, and best solo verse artist for 3 years running. And then when I finished the Kenya Mass, I got the award of the best scriptwriter student and the best director student.
You have so many awards. Congratulations.
Kidogo tunajaribu tu kidogo.
Tunajaribu. Her book is packed.
Tunajaribu kidogo.
Her book is packed.
So back to your question, if I've written anything. Now with Powerhouse, we used to go to workshops. And so in workshops, we used to be put in groups. And then kwa tunaambiwa andikeni stories. And we could write. And also at the Kenya Mass, because I was a directing student, when you're a director student, you're being taught how to do scripts and how to produce.
Exactly.
And so there are projects that I did. One of the projects was the photo story that I did, where I was the producer and the scriptwriter. There's a documentary that I also did. And also, yeah, it's such a long story because I remember when I went for my internship at the at the Department of Film Services, Nairobi.
Exactly.
Walinishikilia.
You were an assistant director there and you did a number of
And
documentaries. The
actually,
SGR, SRC,
SRC,
Kenha, Kura.
How do you know about all this?
I know. You've done a number of documentaries there.
And so when I went
they
there,
got hold of you.
Yeah, when they went there for internship, I remember a very good person, very good man who was a good mentor, called Mr. Kibara, really held on to me and told me, Kola, I want us to work together. And by that time, there was another amazing person called Rosmoli, who really welcomed me into the team. And Madam Jane, by that time, was the head of Department of Film Services. Jane Lusabe, beautiful woman, kind-hearted, and they were so kind to me. So by the time I was graduating, I was working.
You were already working before you graduated?
Honestly, I really can't say I have tarmacked.
She didn't tarmac. Not necessarily, she didn't tarmac. All right, now you know, she didn't tarmac.
Yeah.
How long have you been into theater as a commercial business?
Oh, as a commercial, let me give you now a story. As a commercial, I think the first one that we did used to be called the Parliament of Owls.
I know it via
the Parliament of Owls. Alikuwa naitwa Akiven, I've forgotten the name of the director.
I'm also trying to remember that.
Adipo Sidang. Adipo Sidang. And it was good. And by that time, bado nilikuwa na Q high school mob, na Q college mob. And then you realize, commercial theater just wants you to be subtle. And so I remember this day after the Parliament of Owls, I went to watch Back to Basics. And for Back to Basics is headed by Mbeki Mwalimu.
Exactly.
And the first time I went to watch their plays, I was like, wow, I really need to be in this team. I went for the auditions. I was not taken because I was not yet ready. And I told myself, you know what? I'll come to their rehearsals every single time. And so nilikuwa natoka job, nenda rehearsal kukaa, just to see how they do their things.
Just to watch.
And when the show was nearing to the shows and even during their shows, I could come so early, iron their shirts. And Becky was so welcoming to me, same to another beautiful lady called Daisy Temba. I could iron their shirts, they could send me for staffs, I could bring on them, because I really wanted to see what are they doing different that I'm not doing.
Okay.
And then when I felt I was ready, I just went and told Becky, you know what? I feel I'm ready to be in your team. And then I auditioned, and voila, I was there doing...
You got it.
I did an amazing play called The Debate. It was written by one and only Mike Ndeda.
I saw you sometime back saying you miss it.
Yeah, and it was having amazing cast, people who really held my hands. Bilal Mwaura, Gilbert Lukalia, Wakio Mzenge, Miri Mwikali.
Those are legends in that part.
And then for me, I was a newbie there. Mbaka sometimes was like, Kola, are we dreaming?
Hey, you were just about to say what Bilal said. You know what Bilal said is a die rat in theater.
Yeah.
Well, he'll die in theater. That's what he meant, but he loves theater so much.
So much.
And
so I was paid for the Parliament of Owls, about about your question about commercial, and then also the debate, I was paid. And then when I heard Silent Voices Uganda was coming to Kenya in conjunction with Gilbert Arts.
That was
Subira.
Exactly.
Last year.
Last year.
And actually, funny enough, auditions for Subira was done in 2019.
2019.
Sorry, in 2020.
20.
Actually, I think even it's 2019.
2019.
When I went for the audition, I went for the second callback, and then they just told me we will communicate. 1 year passed, and I was like, maybe I'm not part of it.
I didn't get it.
And then kidogo na wamesurface wakisema, they need people to fill up the roles. I remember again sending a monologue because I really wanted to be part of it.
You sent out, and they had already taken you, but you didn't know.
I didn't know. So kidogo, amazing woman again with the name Judith Adong calls me.
You.
And she's like, Kola, why are you sending us monologues? We have taken you kidogo na email. You have been taken as Subira too. Do you accept? And I was like, wow.
I accepted a long time ago.
Kitambo sana.
No, I got it.
Yeah, and it was such it was a supporting role, but it really made me to know my voice and who I am.
Exactly. So you've been into 4 good acts.
Yeah.
As a commercial.
Yeah.
Longest time?
I think it's Subira. 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah. We had 2 months of active rehearsals, and then the next month was full of performances.
Do you think theatre pays?
It does. If something is meant to be yours,
It will come along.
it will come along. And let me give an example with myself. When I was doing Subira last year, that was around from July. Actually, July was when the performances were being done. And then now we backtrack June and May. And I remember Phil, my boss, calling me and telling me, Kola, we're planning to do GLL. And it seems you won't be there. Because we don't want you to cut the contract of theatre, and we know how much you love theatre. And it really broke my heart because I want to do both of them.
Film and
theatre at the same time.
But you love theatre more.
Yes, I love theatre more, but I also wanted to be in GLL because it was the first time now Phil was transitioning to movies. Now we were done with TV series, kidogo. Now they are now transitioning to movies. And I really wanted to be there because me, I'm all about growth and reading and learning.
Exactly. If there is no growth,
so back to me saying, anything that was meant to be yours will be yours.
Exactly.
Do you know, kidogo, months zinapita, hawajaanza bado. And the day I did my last performance of Subira like this, on Monday, tulikuwa tunashoot GLL.
I remember.
So, mpaka nasema ukweli, anything that was meant to be yours will be yours. And again, the same thing happened to me this year. Amazing producer by the name Dina Mwende called me last year in December and asked me, Kola, there's a new project coming up. I'd like you to be a second AD. What do you say? I couldn't say much because by that time, Philip had already said they want to do a movie.
Click.
And I had already... Na kumbe Click Bank ilikuja kafanywa when? Around May. And this Giza thing started in January.
So there were some few months you would already have done it.
Imagine.
It's meant to be yours.
And then later on when I have wrapped, not even a day before I wrap Click Bang, again I receive a call and I'm being asked, are you available to be a second AD at Giza?
Your angels are always with you, Kola. Your angels are always with you, Kola.
Never give up. And just let God
do the thing.
Let God completely. Me, it has been God since day one.
That's theatre. Let's do film.
Okay.
Before film, I know you've done some commercials.
Oh yeah, I have done some commercials.
As a producer here.
The first commercial I did as a producer was for Fresh Pro. I was still green. I didn't know even the role of a producer so well. But like I said,
but it was
everyone needs a mentor in their lives. And for me, my mentor is none other than Denise Kibisu.
Denise.
She's such an amazing... Where?
If you don't know who you're talking about, Denise, Madam Producer Philip.
She's a producer at Philip Production.
Yeah,
I think
she's nice woman.
Yeah, she's one of those people who really give.
Exactly. She's so kind and
Denise
honest.
has given
just like
me.
You are.
Oh, thank you. Denise has watered my cup so many times. And so many times I ran to her with questions. She will take it in as, yeah! Mina semaga kwa hii jani penye nimefika. Denise, It's all you, man. It's all you. It's all you.
Denise, Madam Producer, Field Production.
It's all you. I really can't take all the credits. Like, she has really believed in me completely.
There's also a Safaricom.
Oh yeah, Safaricom. Now that was
I'm
my
remembering
first
the
ad.
name. I'm trying to get the name.
Ilikuwa inasema ni Safaricom. Oh my God, Jichanue.
Exactly.
Jichanue.
Yeah.
Again, that was my first ad as a first AD now. I was so green. And I remember Phil told me the things that you've been doing on set is the same things that you want you to do now. And I remember when that day ended, I'm all about affirmation. Timothy Njugush texted me and told me, Kola, you've done an awesome job. I have never forgotten that text. Sidai rub your text. Na tulifanya iyo ad 2020.
Nadi saizi.
Sometimes when I'm low, I go back to that.
Some of these things are so good, and even you're wondering, beside the camera person, there is someone who did this thing so well behind the camera. People don't know that. Those are the guys who put up each and every piece in place
true.
before
And
it gets on.
It doesn't even hurt telling somebody you did a good job.
Exactly.
It means the whole world for them.
Exactly.
I'm all about affirmation. My God, if you affirm me,
that's the thing. Then we come up to, you know, Miniki Kujua.
Oh, and also I did another ad as a second day deal, and it was for the PichaClear.
Wow, I remember that ad. I almost forgot.
I was called by none other by Isaiah Evans, and Isaiah has been another great human being that I really thank him for.
Away from commercials, you know, get to TV.
Yeah.
Nikikujua by then you're doing
my Empress.
I was coming over for extra. Nimefanya extras mimi by then. I came over. That's when I met you first time.
Yeah.
But then that was 2019.
Yes.
You are
an intern producer.
Then?
Yes. Now this is the story. I had now left Department of Film Services. And you know, in Department of Film Services, what we did was documentaries. And now I was transitioning now to TV series. And now Abel called me and asked me, Kola, we have a position at my Empress, but near intern. Will you take it? I was like, yeah.
But I remember I overheard this story. They were saying you were somewhere in Nakuru.
Yes, I was somewhere in Nakuru.
2 days before.
Yeah.
And they had already forgotten they did someone like you. 2 weeks had already gone.
Yeah.
And so then Denise is calling me.
Yeah.
And she thought you might say no, give me some time. And then you are like, I'm coming.
I'm coming.
I'm coming.
You know, my mother lives in Nakuru. And so, again, that's when I met Denise. And Denise welcomed me in. And each and every day Denise could ask me, Kola, what do you want to do? Do you want to become a producer? Do you want to become a what? And when I got in to feel it, I had to forgo the cap that I had in Department of Film Services.
Nairobi.
And the cap that I had in Department of Film Services was for an assistant director.
You're not an intern at
I had to remove that cap and just say, I'm here to learn again, all over again. There's nothing as pride or the crown
Kola,
that
you're
I
so
had.
Patient.
Yeah.
You have patience in yourself.
The crown that I had as an AD, iende tu. Let me start anew. Let me start anew. And I thank God for the amazing, amazing crew that I got there.
How was the experience,
oh my God, it was beautiful. You know, I was starstruck, you know. You see people you see on TV and you're like, oh my God.
And I'm the one telling them to do this. I also remember I came there for an extra the first time, and then I can see Abel and I'm saying, this is a guy from Tidehai.
I was really
so I'm like,
starstruck.
I see some very beautiful ladies I see on TV, and
I
I'm
was
like,
working at home myself.
Wow.
You know, for my Empress, I was only there for 3 months. And I remember telling myself at Mnet, I have never forgotten that I will not go back home and I'm going to work for Feel It from now on. I didn't know how.
And then that transition
kidogo tumemaliza ma Empress.
My Empress then Adakava.
Actually, it was Hula Baloo.
Oh, Hula Baloo.
Tumemaliza ma Empress.
Hula Baloo for the longest.
Yeah, tumemaliza ma Empress. And I remember Phil calling me and telling me, Kola, now we want you at Hula Baloo as an assistant producer. I was like, God. And ilifika when my Empress Elisha, I was so much disturbed. I was like, now what will I do? These people call me again. And again, I've come to learn something. Always trust the work that you do.
Definitely.
Trust the effort that you put in. So when they called me as an assistant producer, kidogo kidogo Undercover came in. I was the assistant director. Kidogo kidogo Hulabalu came in again. I was now the AD. Kidogo kidogo GLL came in. I was now the AD. Kidogo kidogo Click Click Bang came in. I was now the AD. So it's like I'm the official AD, assistant director
at Feel It Production. That was TV.
Yeah.
How was TV experience in general before we now get to film, because you're here for film?
In general, TV is beautiful. In vile, you know, it's series, and series you can even do series for 3 months. It's tiring, yes, but it's satisfying at the end of the day.
You set from Monday to Saturday.
Monday, you don't have life, by the way. On Sunday, you want to wash, you want to sleep, you want to.
What would you if you?
Alarm Shalia.
Kola, people don't know that. People don't know that. People who create what you watch on TV, you should give them respect, mad respect, because they don't have a life. They don't have social life.
Hawana. Apart from work, hakuna kitu
ingine. They are there from Monday. Sometimes they don't even sleep.
And then here is the hook. When the TV series has ended, you don't know what to do with your life. Because umezoea unamka 4, unarudi kwa nyumba hata maybe the next day. But now everything has come and you're just there, you're like, Allah, to do.
Hakuna kitu sasa ya kufanya tena.
Hakuna kitu ya kufanya tena.
That's forgotten.
And then again I did Igiza. Igiza was another one. Beautiful people, beautiful concept. I learned a lot, more so as an AD in handling crowd.
Each and every day of your life has been a learning day.
For me it has been. I've learned from Isaiah Evans, I've learned from Dina Mwende, I've learned from Abdi Shuri, I've learned from Abu Melita, I have learned from Freddie Moore. These are people that I'm constantly learning from.
These are people who are holding the industry as per now, as we speak.
Yeah.
Film GLL. How was the first film for yourself, being as an AD?
That was not my first film.
Really?
Because it had pattered, I have done the Nigerian film.
Oh. She's
So,
a lady in some international films.
So actually it had pattered again at Department of Film Services, had written a script and directed. As a director and as a script writer.
But GLL was the main film we knew first.
You guys knew first, yes. I think the public knew first, yes. The experience was beautiful. And the fact that, let me say first of all, Feel It TV has this culture, which is so beautiful. Even you as an extra coming, you won't feel like you're an extra.
No, you don't feel it.
You feel like you're part of it.
The family.
And then another thing, as crew members, we don't shout at each other. If something has gone wrong, I'll call you aside, tell me what's the problem. When things moving, talk to me.
Exactly.
Where can we get in? So there's this beautiful culture at Feel It that even it's making it more beautiful.
Each and every day.
Each and every day. So it was beautiful. Again, it was a learning process at GLL because now you're handling your let me just say celebrities. Now you're handling celebrities.
She handles.
And then you realize,
they're more like just like we live normally.
And they have to abide by the rules on set. If you have to be on set by 8 in the morning, let's be 8 in the AM, be there.
I get it.
So it was beautiful. It was really beautiful.
Then after GLL, here comes Click Click Bang.
Yeah.
That was another wholesome experience.
My God, Click Click Bang is a whole...
You found yourself into it from pre-production.
It's a whole session.
To post-production.
But one thing I loved about Click Click Bang, pre-production was done to the T.
Exactly. I remember Denise and Abel talking about it.
To the T. Like we had almost 2 months of pre-production and I had to be there. Some sessions I was not there because of 1, 2, 3 things. But it was beautiful. And now for the Click Click Bang, I'm used to handling a crowd of maybe 10 people. But now Click Click ilikuwa rende.
100 of people.
100 of people.
Remember, new people each and every day, maybe.
Exactly. And also Click Click Bang also helped me with knowing my temperaments. Because you know when you handle a lot of people, I'm a human being as much as I'm an AD, I'm a human being. Kuna time mtu anaweza kufika kwenye core.
Unachoka.
and you get tired.
You're just about to say a word and then you're like, let me hold it.
Click Bang made me realize I have strength in my emotions. And it was such a beautiful feeling to know that. Yeah.
So I was speaking to Victor Gatonye, you know him.
Abisa.
Yeah. He's a legend in it. And he was saying he has been looking for a lady director for the longest time possible. But he has not found one.
Okay.
What do you think? Ladies are not getting into fame as directors.
Imagine they are.
What do you tell them?
Imagine they are.
Where are they?
Wako. But I've come to learn one thing, There's something called imposter syndrome. Whereas, yes, you're good at what you do, but you keep on second guessing yourself. Am I really good at what I do? And I think that's what is really making people
hold back.
And so let me just say, Wako. What I can say, one thing I came to learn in my life right now, and I'm in that session, I'm in that season of learning. Not really. If you remove 3 things in your life, and those are the things that I'm also trying to remove. If you remove fear, shame, and guilt, you're good to go.
Really? You know, I'm struggling with fear and shame.
If you remove fear, shame, and guilt, you're good to go.
Now you see, I'm also learning too.
You're so much good to go. Fear, shame, guilt.
But ladies are feel. They only want to act. Be behind camera.
Sijajua mbona, but again unajua sisi pia tuzikuwa nyuma ya kamera, sisi tuzikuwa mbele ya kamera. So there needs to be a balance.
Do these things, but they don't want to do it.
But I think also you just have to get the push.
Who will push you?
You just have to get the push. Nimekam kulan. You see, for me, when I'm not working, you'll find me even texting people on the social media in their inboxes. Hi, I love your work. I'd like to come to your set to just see what you do. And you'll find kind people accepting you to go. Come over and see what I'm doing. I'm not asking for money. I'm just coming to want to see what you are doing and how you do your stuff.
She's a learner. You know, people are not into it. So many people, especially guys of our age, young guys,
I know, right?
They want to do something today and tomorrow you're done.
Ni microwave. Tunairusha hivi food. Then after 20 seconds, ishakuwa moto.
That's what people want. They don't want to learn. Let me give you a story. As we come you know, I came over here to learn.
Nice.
Physically learn.
Such a beautiful space.
Exactly.
And the person behind the camera also.
We're in Kiabu, by the way. So that basic part of learning, I didn't have it before. I wanted to do something today and tomorrow it's seen. But then I come to learn that it's patience, that it's time to grow, it's time to learn.
True.
Each and every day is a learning process.
It is.
A cool down, you know, and life is so much easier now.
Ni sana kwa sababu unapata unajipea pressure ya kuna.
Hata sina pressures in. So let's learn this thing each and every day. As long as I don't feel my day wasted and there is growth, then do it. Unasikia Kola the same way. She has been learning all through.
And I'm still learning even now.
And you're there waiting.
There's
tomorrow.
No waiting. It's learning all through. Learning.
International films.
Yeah.
The Nigerian you've been telling me about.
Yeah.
I know of Igiza.
Yeah.
Have you done another one?
Zinakam. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Is there a difference between the film like Abeli and Philip production is doing in the international field? Do you feel there's a gap or a difference?
No, I don't see if there's a difference, but just the same way. Sasa dani kikuja kwenyu. Kwenyu kuna rules different. Ukikuja kwetu kuna rules different. Nikienda kwa our camera guy behind this camera, kwa kuna rules different. So I think it's just culture are different, but the things are the same. At the end of the day, the output is film.
The same. And do you feel maybe in years' time, Kenyan film will be in another place?
I don't know, not even in a year's time. It is now. Have you seen the way it's taking off?
I know. Like I'm about to ask this question. Do you feel in the next couple of years, film industry in Kenya will be saturated?
What?
Saturated, as in there will be so.
It will be. Because right now, I think film limeanza kupata ile recognition that it deserves. And the fact that we see people like akina Kate Actress, Melvina Lusa, Blessing Lungaho, Melissa Kiplagat, going to South Africa.
Flying over
My
there to
God,
do film from this country.
It's so inspirational to people like us, to people like me, because you see, wanafanya tuna feel it is very possible. Again,
as we also speak of film getting into another place, there is still theater.
Yeah.
And someone some days ago told me theater will overtake film too, because there is so much in theater than in film. So what do you think, yourself?
Which is very true. There's this production house called Miller's Production. I think after every month wako tu na show. And you know that consistency is what we want. And it's just a beautiful place. There's this another one called Shots from Africa. It's another production house. There's Fombeki's Back to Basics. And these people kill us time. They are making something. And so people relate so much with theater. We need to go and sit somewhere and watch things being done.
You know, people really didn't have that aspect until maybe the Mkurugenzi effect brought in people to go and watch movies in theaters.
Yeah, that's very true. Tulikuwa tumengoja tukona tu Marvel ikikam. Tunaona tujui ma sense what inakam ndo tunakimbia.
Netflix, tupeleke Netflix.
But says we have our stuffs going on and happening.
Exactly.
And actually, even as we speak right now, Click Click Bang, it's still in theaters running. And yo, kama hujawatch bado Click Click Bang, I don't know what you're waiting for.
You should watch it. Kuna time Bilal alikuwa ananiambia kuna mtu alimuuliza umekuwa wapi? Who are you? Where have you been? That is after GLL. Where has this guy been? And Bilal was like, nimekuwa theater nikiiva. Yani, I have so much to do.
Let me tell you, I was with Bilal at the debate with Back to Basics. Bilal, and even at GLL, Bilal has a whole process that you love to see.
So much.
Bilal will come with his lines on set. And you'll just hear him. And I remember Steve, our son guy, who kept on telling us, Joel come mic. Angemsikia mpaka sometimes akisema, lens za huo mtu mwingine, ndo apate his emotions right.
Aingie.
Mad respect, bro. Mad respect, bro.
He's so good.
And I remember, Bilal really gave me oomph when I got into debate, the debate. Because the first time we did a read through, and Bilal was like, Kola!
Where have you
this
been?
role is meant for you. With those words, I ran with it. I ran with those words completely.
He says things straight. Have you had a problem in derolling when you're acting or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
How have you handled it?
I think that happened way back in campus, where you're a kind of nasty person, and then you realize when you handle pia mtu, and then you be like, Miss Kwagivi. So there's also that part of derolling, which is very important. Yeah.
Do you think people should be, maybe as we're doing acts, there should be people who at least help you to derol?
I think no, just put your mind open. Put your mind open. You're not what you act. You're just a tool.
But then some people carry the character along with them.
You're sasa ni shida, but you're not what you act. You're a tool.
You're a tool to. Thank you for coming.
Thank you
Thank you so much. I really loved this conversation. You've been in Kola, you've learned so much. Film, especially, nilisikia Philu akisema, he's looking forward to you having your own productions. And you doing your own
Honestly,
films. When is this coming?
I go back to that video.
When is this coming?
Let me say something about Phil. Phil as a director, because I've worked with Phil now for quite a while now. Phil is that person who pushes you. And when he sees something in you, you won't remain stagnant. And I think it's the same as Abel. And they're not selfish. They're very generous.
There is no one in film production who is, I don't think those guys are
very generous, by the way.
Very generous, actually.
Yeah, but I love it here. I love it.
So here. When are we having your production?
My God. I don't want to promise because I don't want to break a promise. But let me say, let me say I'm still learning the ropes and also the business side of the film.
Because that's another whole school.
That's another whole school of its own. And I'm so glad that I have Abel Mutua in film to really teach me how it's done. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Thank you for coming. I don't know what to say. It's really awesome and encouraging, especially for young ladies who want to get into film. We've learned so much. I mean, we'll get up into another episode. That was a nice one. Bye.
Bye. Ooh.